It's time for Leather Podcast.
Where are you in the world, Bear Jew, Craig?
Currently in Singapore.
Asia? You're in Asia?
Aye. It was like, so I started my travel this morning. It's confusing me time. I started my travel Tuesday morning. Started my travel Tuesday morning at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Started from Florida. Nearly missed my flight because I was 20 minutes late for it. And they were like pushing back. And they were only going to take my bag on. And I was like, just leave the bag. The bag's fine. There's nothing in it. It's just clothes. So I'm like, just leave it. And they managed to get the bag on because as I was in the airport in Singapore, I was half expecting my bag not to be there. So from Florida to San Francisco, which is like nearly 6 hours.
You need to go back away.
And then get to and then go from San Francisco all the way around across the Pacific Ocean to Singapore. So I landed like maybe about 2.5 hours ago, just hanging with my buddy, Big Gilbert, Big Gilly Boy.
So did you fly the opposite way then? So you went to San Francisco, then you went like towards like Australia way, and then over that way? Or did you go cut right across Europe?
No, we didn't cut across Europe. We went the other side.
Right,
went the other way.
Right. It's a lot of water there. I get a fear flying over water, man, I do.
See, when you're in Florida, because I thought, it would make sense to go from Florida across Europe, but I obviously don't know. But then in the way home, I have to go Abu Dhabi, or Dubai, sorry, and then from Dubai to Glasgow. And then I've got a few days in Glasgow, and then I have to head back to do a signing in fucking Abu Dhabi. No, in Abu Dhabi. Arizona.
Fucking jet setter, you. But you actually got to come back and do a bit of training or what? What's going on?
Well, I need to, man, when this fight gets announced.
Are we live? Are we going?
No,
not live, but recording. Live to the world.
I know. So what's fucking big John Fury been up to? Let's see this guy. You've maybe not seen it because
John Fury. I'm a machine. See when he shouted he was a machine. I burst out laughing. Man.
It's the best thing ever.
Is this when he's flipping the tables?
He's doing a shag in the air, no? Shag in the air.
So good.
He grabs his dick at one point. He's like, I'm the father of like the best boxer in the world or some shit.
I hope Mike Perry gets the fight. So Perry's like the backup fighter.
Aye.
I hope he gets the fight.
He'll just fucking blitter him,
and
man.
he makes a lot of money, mate. I just hope he makes a lot of money.
I think he's making good coin anyway, Perry, on the bare knuckle scene.
He's the bare knuckle guy, but this whole fucking thing,
I don't see Dennis pulling it now, mate. Like, there's so much shit being going on. Like, if he does pull it or doesn't show up, like, I think everybody would just bin him, man, completely. And he's got the right pull, brother, anyway, because Jake would sleep him, where Logan maybe just flurry him with big arse winders, but he'll still beat him, I think.
Was that the cake he threw at him?
Aye.
Was that a cake? That big
aye.
Was that cake?
They made a cake because he's like, Dylan's never actually won a fight. Lost a fight, and they put him with a black eye with gloves on and gave him a camel toe with a cake. So they brought the cake out, and John Fury's like, if that cake goes on me, there's gonna be a fucking riot, my friend. And he's like, that's not gonna be, John. That's not gonna be, John. They were shouting their selfie, John, weren't they? All of them were shouting their selfie, John.
I can't even believe like how invested cunts are in this press conference. It's
CKSI though, Paul. I don't know if you watched it, but it was. This is what he was coming out with. He's like, I'm the guy that John Cena can see. Like, because he's like, John Cena can't see. He's like, I know. He's like, I know Victoria's Secret.
That's funny, pal.
I'd be just sitting in KSI, like, you're just fucking, you die, you know what I mean?
Jamie told me to move the mic.
So is he fighting Tommy Fury?
Aye. So Tommy Fury came out and says, I'm going to kill YouTube boxing within 12 months. So he's like, I beat Jake and now I deal with KSI and that'll be them done forever. Which he should, really.
But then he's clearly talking shit because he's only fighting these guys for an actual payday. So
he's not the best boxer either.
Do you think Tommy could mix it with boxers?
No, not at high level, no. Nah. If you look at the guy, he was like 5-0 or whatever. If you look at the guys who fought, they were all like 0-30 and 0-40 and stuff like that. Like, come on, man.
It's the same for guys like Deontay Wilder and that
you're
too.
A bum.
Yeah.
If you watch Deontay Wilder, like go and watch like Deontay Wilder's first 4 or 5 fights, like Jake Paul's definitely better at the same number.
But
of
I don't
fights
actually
than he was
think
and
that
stuff
Tommy
like
Fury is a good boxer. Watching him, he's no.
A lot of pressure on him though.
Aye.
Kind of big shoes, eh? If that's who you.
But the four of them on that stage, it's just like, what do you expect to happen?
It's a circus, eh?
That's exactly what it was.
Funny, but it's funny. Like it's quite entertaining. People are talking.
So what provoked John to flip the tables then? Why was he fucking losing his shit?
Because they were just talking about like shagging each other's misses, not, and John just had enough. And he's like, "This is like we are fighting men up here. People are going to get knocked out. I've had enough of all this shit." And he just started flipping tables and
they just started brilliant.
It was so good. Eh?
It was good, man.
He's like, he's unintentionally hilarious, John Fury.
I'm a machine. He just shouted, "I'm a machine" out of nowhere. And it was just like Bert Kreischer. What are you talking about?
I think he actually thinks he's there. He believes he's there for a serious press conference.
Aye.
And he doesn't realise that people are watching him because he does fucking funny, unpredictable stuff.
I think it's funny that 4 of them sat down and then like Tommy Fury's came out with his dad, but you know what I mean? It's like, oh, my dad's here and all, you know what I mean? Like, pull a chair up there.
He's going to do
Need to
something.
be the best behaviour.
He wasn't that. Tommy was a bit kind of like, he wasn't as excitable as the others, I didn't think.
I think he's quite embarrassed, isn't he? Sometimes when you see guys like the Eubanks and that, remember when the dads speak up and like the boxers just kind of sit there quiet. I think they're embarrassed sometimes when their dad just takes the reins and
takes it. Aye. Takes over.
That is funny.
So what else has been happening in the world? Nothing exciting.
Physio.
I'm just back for the physio there. So like my disc is healed, but I'm still getting pain in my glute because basically my left side's weak because of the injury. So we're trying to repair the leg up and just doing a lot of like single leg stuff, load it up and just try to keep the tension because when he was like doing like testing me the day, like one side's just fucking so weak. It's unbelievable, but. So we'll just try to rebuild that, and then hopefully in 4 weeks, he says 2 weeks' time, I can full on wrestle. In 4 weeks' time, when the camp starts, I should be good to grapple, wrestle, run, lift heavy weights and stuff like that. So fingers crossed, I'm positive about it, and just need to trust the process, as the people say.
Are you feeling better about it though?
How?
Sometimes I feel if I get like in that hard scramble or wrestle against the wall and like I do get it's not like a pain, but it's something's in deep my ass cheek. Obviously it's coming from where the injury was and the nerve, but it doesn't go all the way down to my toes and it's no sore, so that's a plus side of it. It's no, I'm no sore in the morning, I can sleep, I can get up all right and I can move, I can touch my toes, I can bend. Where there's a test a day where it's like where you just sit in your arse and kind of straighten your leg out and stuff like that. That used to make me scream and now I can do it. So it's there's definitely a progression there. It's just about maintaining it and like repairing this left side because it is weak as shit, man.
How's it going to be with the hill walking when you do in Yosemite National Park?
That's fine. Walking's I can walk. I'm allowed to walk all day if I could. I need to be on my feet all day. So sometimes I'm sitting with the Wayne, or I'm driving, or I'm lying in bed. Where Andy wants me every like half an hour to get up and just go a walk about the house or walk around the block and stuff like that. Or in between rounds, if I'm doing sparring like the round break, I need to be walking. I can't just sit down or chill, stand. I need to walk. So walking's alright for it. I'm actually looking forward to going out there and doing some hiking and some training as well. I'm going to do some training. And maybe even a wee future camp in America, eh?
Yeah, we've been. It's one of the things we've been talking about. It's doing a wee camp. I'm planning on being out round about the same time as Chris. I think you're the same, Ross, isn't he? You're planning on being out
November,
December time.
It's a fucking busy month for the Leathered boys.
I know.
So I think as what we've been speaking about is we want to maybe go to Vegas, do some PI stuff, work with some of the gyms out there, and take over like a wee mini camp and run a mini camp there. It should all work out perfect. Maybe spend like a month to 2 months there doing getting ready for a fight camp. So I'm excited. I just need a fight, or I just need to confirm a fight.
Not too much yet. Can he get all the way? That's for the Patreons. Aye. Good.
So, but I was, but it's positive, and especially if all 3 years are fighting round about November, December time, then we can all work together. We can all get fit. We can all, like, my nutritionist is going to be there. We're going to have some good training partners. We'll be able to touch into some of the guys in Vegas. It's just going to be a really good camp for us. So I'm excited for the 11 boys to go.
There's something about, like, training in the heat. I love, like, getting up. I know obviously we've trained in America hundreds of times when we've been over, Paul, but there's something about getting up in the morning, getting good food into you, then going doing a hard session in the hot weather, especially Vegas, obviously that desert air. And if I go out a jog, or we done it in Arizona, I nearly fucking died going out a jog. I woke up in the morning, went right out a jog without getting any water in me. And Arizona's like the hottest place in the world at some points.
It's a desert.
And I nearly fainted when I came back because I had zero water in me for waking up. So I'd been basically dehydrated all night. So I love running in the hot weather, and
it's good, isn't it?
And even in the gyms over there, it's sweaty. You got the good fucking high level guys pushing you, and it's like it's different in America.
That
like,
heat gets
it's like
as well.
It's like the films you watch, like everybody hands in, 1, 2, 3, let's go, all that stuff. It's like it's maybe a tight group, and they support each other more, I think.
Do you know it's a good thing as well? Like, this might sound like quite selfish, but see, being out of the routine of being a dad, like getting up in the morning, doing the breakfast, doing the school run, doing all the stuff that the kids require. It's good sometimes just to be like, right, this is my job. This is my job for the next 4 months. I'll make it up to the kids, and that's pretty much what we're going to do. We're going to go out to America. We're going to bust a couple of nuts, do some training, and then come back and be the dads, man. But it's good just to get away from that routine, having no stress of family, having no stress of partners, having no stress of travel and training, because we're pretty much going to be staying very close to the PI. And we're just going to lean on the PI for everything. Good nutritious food through there, and I am excited. I'm excited to see a wee camp out there.
I like routine. I always say the hamster wheel's good. It's only when you get off it there's a fucking problem. So it's good to just be like, I need to get up at this time, be here at this time, be there at that time, and I go to bed at that time. And it does get quite easy just to keep repeating it. And of course you do fucking have other things to do, and stuff does get involved and things get in the way, but it is better when you can limit. When all you're thinking about is fighting, and guys have been going away and doing this type of thing for as long as there's been fucking groups of guys going away fighting. You just go away, you stick together, it's just you, your family are at home, fucking come back when it's done. It's normal.
Obviously, you know? We're all good dads as well, so we do love spending time with the kids, but I feel sometimes it's good just to exhale, like let's just focus on winning,
focus on us,
preparing for this fight and winning this fight, because at the end of the day you're doing it for the family, not me as well, like but it is sometimes you need to get away and exhale, because it takes out you being a dad. Even
that weekend there at London was hard for me, but here's what's mental, the difference with having a boy and a girl. My son actually went on the Sunday, were you away in London? Like, as if he didn't, I'd FaceTimed him like every day, and it was like he didn't even realise, he just thought I was at fucking my work or something.
He didn't register.
He's too busy having a good time.
Have you got clearance, Coopster? Do you have clearance for Vegas? We have clearance for Ralph Cooper to land in Vegas.
I'll be in Vegas.
I had clearance right away, and it was her that was giving me, and I was like, who you fucking bitch? That's all I thought. I was like, who you fucking, like, you're literally, I'll drop you off at the airport, and I'm just like, what's going on here, girl? So, but she's like, it's something to do with, if it's something to do with the fight, she's good, because she knows that's her bread and butter, not me.
It's a dream. Listen, it's a dream.
I had clearance until I went to the shop last night and bought a bottle of whiskey and fucking steaming and pick. Did you see that group chat?
You were asking to fight all sorts.
I know you were fucking your tits last night. I was like,
I was fucked. Went online and bought some sort of GRR token memorabilia coin and stuff like that. Woke up this morning like, what the fuck is
Now
that?
we're talking, big man.
Aye, it's a limited edition.
If you don't want it, Paul, buy it.
A limited edition.
Go with sword.
Not in circulation £2 coin. And I was like, fuck that. What's this even look like?
Is that the one with JRR token on the front?
Aye. I think so.
Aye, I've got that.
Oh,
He's got it.
aye. I was just like, what did you...
got
Why did I do that? I don't know. I do things like this. I didn't go on fucking mad ones very often, but woke up on the couch at 5 o'clock this morning, fucking freezing, Doug lying on me. Like, fuck, I need to go to my bed, man. Went to the gym this morning, I was fucked. I was absolutely stinking as well. Like, I could smell it off myself when I was hitting the bag. I was just like, oh, this is fucking minging.
At least you still made training, no? That's,
Aye, I still went.
That's a plus.
Still went. But see, when I was driving up there, it was one of the ones where I was like, oh, I could turn around at the next roundabout, like, just fucking go home. But I couldn't.
Ross, have you finalised your fight that we've been speaking about for a while? Has that been finalised now? No. We're looking for other things. Still
now.
in the process of trying.
Aye.
Still in the process of trying. Hey, it's what happens in the fight game. It's very difficult to with schedules. So you need to be selfish and look after you.
There's other opportunities are going to come up as well. And obviously,
Yep.
if during your camp, if someone was fortunate enough to come up over there,
Well, my manager was saying there's a show. One of the weeks we were out there, Fury MMA.
Aye.
So there could be potential hitting up there. And I think that's an actual feeder for the Dana White Contender Series. If I'm right. That's one of the main feeders from what probably put the most Dana White Contender Series fighters in there. So there's an opportunity, and we can hit them up and pass them.
It's like I say, you spoke about it on the episode we recorded on Monday. There is no point in trying to pick fights anymore. Like, there's no point. You just have to. This is the guy, you're fighting him. If you can't get past him, then you're not fucking making it anyway. So that's where I want to be now. I didn't want to be. I just want to go. Let's go out and get a good win. And if it didn't, then like I say, I keep saying it. I keep thinking about my age too much. Maybe I'm kind of getting like that, but I am getting older. Like, I've got to get the fights in.
We're
now.
all basically the same age, man. So it's.
You're a bit older than me.
Aye.
Am I fuck?
You're older than me.
Am I fuck? We're the same age.
No.
You're dafty.
What age are you?
35.
I'm 34.
It's good, not so bad.
I'm actually 35. I'll be 36.
I'm not 34.
I'll be 36 soon.
I swear to God.
When you're 35?
I'm telling you.
Is it this year?
December.
He's December.
December.
He is.
But you 89? I'm 88.
February.
There you go.
So 2 months after.
I mean, you're talking about your age, don't I mean? I'm fucking older.
Aye, but you've had
And heavyweight as well.
I know.
You're a heavy.
I know.
You get the heavies.
I'll tell you what.
Aye.
You're on this podcast, mate. You need to keep fighting until we all fucking retire.
I know. Who's gonna
I do all retire.
We'll all retire the same day.
That's it. This is us goodbye.
We'll go to just full-time podcasting.
But no, I'd love a fight out there for sure, because I've never done
I would love that.
a fight abroad, nothing like that. So fucking if the opportunity was there, I would bite your hand off for it. Eh? So like, I'm amongst the best guys. So what difference does it make?
I watched Oban Elliott last night in the Dana White's Contender Series. The Welsh guy,
Is that the Welsh boy?
Aye,
I seen he got the contract.
he won. He was a bit out on his feet in the second round, and we came back in the third, and it was a good fight. But Dana wasn't got to game it, and he was like, he knew he wanted it so bad and stuff like that. And just seeing stuff like that, I'm just like, I would love to be on that show and just put it on the line for 15 minutes. Just give everything you've got. The last 15 years you've trained, just this is it. Yeah, you're fucking put on a show,
it's tonight,
finish this guy.
Aye.
Like, just leave it on there. When I see people still try to hold on to people, and I'm just like, you know, a contract doing that, no, man.
See the issue with the Dana White Contender Series, and it's like guys are rushing into it because they would rather just say they're a UFC fighter, and maybe they're like 3-5, couple of fights and all. So maybe like, let's say 5-0, and they have a very short career in the UFC because they've not got the experience.
Aye.
Whereas that's where you differ, Chris. You've had the experience. You've been at the big shows. You've been in the small shows. You've been all over the world fighting.
Aye.
So being in the Contender Series is like the final straw in your cap in it, where it's like you get an opportunity to be in there.
Aye.
You've fought the best guys in the world. You're going to carve somebody up in there, get a contract and stay in the UFC. Whereas the vast majority of these guys that make it from the Contender Series end up 2 or 3 fights and they get found out because they don't have that experience, they don't have that hustle that we've had to do.
Aye.
Some of them melt under the bright lights as well. Like, that's not going to be a factor for you because you've done it.
Maybe I don't know about the Apex thing in front of like a couple of people. I don't know how that would go with me, because I don't know, like when I fought in Milan in front of 0 people, I hated it.
I done it once as well. It was weird as fuck.
And if you're there, it's now or never, I suppose, innit?
I think it's good for the fans though.
They're starting to let a wee, like they've got the small crowd in at the Apex with the wee stand in it. But you still have an eerie feeling, because they don't walk out to music either. They just open the door and they go out and they fight and that. And but Dana's there. You go like, if you're not willing to put it on the line, then the job's not for you anyway. You know what I mean?
A song's not going to get you going if fucking Dana White's sitting at the side of the cage, can he?
I know.
But I don't know, mate. I think you're as good a candidate as anyone else.
If I win my next one, I'm hitting 20 pro wins. You know what I mean? I've got a lot of finishes. Like the time is now. You know what I mean? But I need to beat Perry first. I can't. I'm not looking by Perry.
No, definitely.
Put the camp in and finish Perry, and then we can maybe start having these conversations. You know what I mean? Or talk to somebody at kin.
I don't think there's anything wrong with having the conversations and thinking about it. You have to be set. Like, it's got to be up there and say, look, this is what I'm doing. And it depends if your goal is to make it to the UFC, or you want to go to another promotion, or you want to go to PFL and win $1 million. And unless you're saying these things out loud, they're not fucking happening. You've got to be saying, I'm doing this, and then I'm doing this. And if you don't think like that, chances are...
This is the final push for us all, innit? Like we're saying, we're 35, 34. This is the final push for us as MMA fighters. We aren't going to get many years like this left.
No.
So this is it. It's all or nothing, man. We're a couple of fucking straight shooters, a couple of
in the last chance
face-offs,
a couple of dolphs.
This is it.
Couple of dolphs.
Put your daddy shorts on. But I saw you putting out, Paul, talking about what you did to Israel, Adesanya. Did that get any?
I think that was maybe from the Schmo.
It was an old interview.
I love the Schmo, eh?
Aye, so he's a good guy. He just got married.
Aye.
She does the media as well, doesn't she? She does the media.
Pardon?
She does the media as well.
She does. She does all the camera work. She's a really nice person as well. So really, really good people.
I thought it was one of your best interviews, mate. Like I watched it in bed, and just the way you're a lot more knowledgeable in your compadres now. Like you're writing up for these fighters. I'm like, that's not the way you used to be, you know what I mean?
I know. I am getting better. And it's the same. Like I think the more that I do this sort of media stuff, the more I have to learn. So the more I have to research. So like before I come on the podcast, I was looking up like who's on this card at the weekends, the Singapore card, because these are the questions they're going to ask us. My schedule as it currently runs this week is tomorrow. Myself and Gilbert are doing this seminar. So it's like we're going to a shopping mall. We're going to run a seminar, no gi, and show the locals some moves. And then Friday morning, myself and Gilbert we're going to a local school, and then we're going to talk to the kids.
That's
and then
cool.
for that, we're going to go to a soccer. And then we're going to go to a soccer match, and then it's going to ceremonial weigh-ins, and I think call it go happy hour with Paul and Gilbert. And then Saturday's obviously the fights. So these are the times where like I need to know who I'm talking about. Like if I'm talking about Green Zombie, I need to have a fair understanding of who he is. I need to know who Max Holloway is. So it's just improving me as a fighter, right? It's taking a wee bit. It's stressful traveling the fucking continent, but
Did you bring your skateboard for a wee skate with Max?
I did. I brought the skate. I brought my skateboard and then bought another one. You want to see it? I won't get it.
Is Max Holloway?
So I brought my skateboard.
I don't know.
So when I was down in Florida, went into like it was like surfing, skate shop, like just my kind of place, full of dudes, full of like, hey man, let's go and get some sweet waves. So I went in a shop and found this pork, and I had to buy it because it was a bear.
Ah, nice.
With a salmon, bear with a salmon in its mouth, and I'm like, that's me in the UFC. I'm a bear with a salmon in my mouth. So I was like, that's 100%. So I bought that skateboard.
Salmon bear Jew.
So I now went to the airport with 2 skateboards. So I put one in my rucksack and my bag, and my bag was like well over the threshold. I had to pull jeans and all out of my bag to travel. So as I said, 5 hours or 6 hours to Florida to San Francisco, and then 13 hours from San Francisco to Singapore.
How did the surfing go? How did that go down? Did you go down?
Oh, we never managed to get. I never managed to get surfing. The waves were too much, and then by the time the waves calmed down, I had to go and meet up with my mate Robbie Law.
Right.
I was sitting having a. Which is kind of cool.
He's a fucking legend, man. I love him.
I know. Cool. I was trying to look at his lip to see if you could see the scar.
Aye.
For the
we must have. Aye, for the Robbie versus
McDonald. Rory.
Rory. What a fight! That's one of my favourite fights ever.
Aye. We're running out of time, bro. So I think you maybe need to phone back in. It's come up on the screen.
E.T. phone home. Right, man, Jamie, get us sorted, son.
Jamie's got his specs on again, man.
Boys.
Jamie makes you look like a pervert.
As soon as he spun the laptop around, he burst out laughing there. Jamie, you are a pervert.
So guys, we are very lucky to be working with Anaconda Fightwear, and one of the products they've got that we're really excited about is a knee brace. So the knee brace not only has a little bit of protection if you're a wrestler and you like to shoot and you're quite heavy on the knee, it gives it a little bit of padding, but the thing that we're excited about with this knee brace is the fact that there's these straps that actually wrap around your knee to give it a little bit more support. So you across the front of the knee, and then it cinches itself on there, and the same again, creates this nice cross underneath the kneecap to give it that nice little bit of support. And what that should in theory stop is if you get natural weakness in your knee from years of playing football, years of running outside, or just somebody swinging off your leg in jiu-jitsu, it will give you that little bit of lateral pressure to stop that from actually dislocating. So it's, as I said, both me and the guys are massively behind this product. We've been giving them to your father-in-law who uses them in the golf course. We've given them to guys in the gym who have knee issues, and they swear by them. And as we said, the thing that sets these apart from anybody else is these bits of Velcro, which actually mean nothing, but until you actually wrap them up and use them properly, it makes a huge difference. So check out Anaconda Fightwear. What's the website?
AnacondaFightwear.co. You'll get 2 rash guards for $59 now. We've got the green, got the black, they come in long sleeve, there's a gold one.
Some tight shorts.
Tight shorts.
Normal shorts. So guys, check out Anaconda Fightwear. You will be impressed. The rash guards are not covered in massive Dragon Ball Z stuff. They're very, very classy. We kind of like the design of them. And the same for the shorts. We were wearing the shorts for our competition at the weekend. Chris will be fighting them in his next fight as well. The kit itself's fantastic, and this knee brace, if you have been plagued with injuries through jiu-jitsu, MMA, whatever your sport is, go and check them out, and it's anacondafightwear.co.
Well, hello there.
Hello.
Aye. Where were we? So, you were out with Big Rab Lawler.
Aye.
So hanging about with him, obviously, I was travelling, had lunch and breakfast with thing this morning. Big Bunsy boy, wee Gilbo.
Big Gilbo.
Cowboy.
So I had left my headphones in the restaurant we were in. It was just in the airport. So I had to go back and get them. So I just picked my skateboard up and hammered. It was maybe like 5 minutes away. So I'm belting through the airport in my Crocs, and I hear somebody shout, "Is that Paul Craig?" Paul fell down and he's like, "Where are you going? Where are you going away from Singapore?" And I was like, so we had this chat. I was like, "No, I need to go. I've left my headphones." And he's like, as I get back to the airplane, he's sitting there and he's like, that's one of the funniest times I've ever seen in my life. You flying by me in the biggest Crocs I've ever seen, like just because I had to go and get these headphones, man. But I managed to get them all the way back. When I come in, Max Holloway was down talking to Gilbert. So I'm assuming they're old comrades. And then as I was speaking to Gilbert, he was telling us the last time he was in Singapore was with. Do you know who was in Singapore with?
Stevie Ray?
He was in with Michael Johnson fighting Stevie Ray. And it was like Michael Johnson went off in one because he thought he won the fight, and was like, and Gilbert's like, I had to move seats. Like, he's such a nice guy, but he's like, I had to move seats away from Michael Johnson because he was losing his shit. But so I'm looking forward to obviously doing all this stuff with Gilbert. As I said, you're just having opportunities that I wouldn't normally get if I wasn't a winning fighter in the UFC, because you don't bring over
losers.
Losers. So I some cool things going on the next couple of weeks for me, and then obviously after that it's going to be some cool shit for us.
Yeah, man.
Loads of footage.
I love it, mate.
Going to be loads of footage for the.
Love it.
It's mad.
Loads of footage for our Patreon.
It's mad times, though, eh? Do you never think back to like your job before this, and just be like, "What the fuck was I doing in my life?" Before, like, really though.
Paul enjoyed his last job.
Aye, but like my job's all right, but still, I sit there sometimes and I'm like, it doesn't have to be this. Do you know what I mean? Though it doesn't. Like you're no
people don't know. People don't know. Like my nephew's. He's 16. He's like coming into like 5th year. He's talking about like what he wants to do as a job and all that kind of stuff. And the kid doesn't know what he wants to do. He doesn't know where he wants to go. I was like that. I had no idea where I wanted to go, but I'm trying to explain to him, like, do something that's going to make you happy. Do something that when you wake up on Monday morning, you're going to be happy, because we've all been in jobs. We used to wake up the Monday and be like, fucking hell, can we be phoning in sick?
Yep.
How many times did you phone in sick? Like after that fucking just a Monday morning, because you get the Monday morning blues. Like, I'll just kid on. I'm not feeling good.
Mate,
or
loads of
do you
times.
remember when you were still staying with your parents, asking your parents to phone in for you? Can you phone the work for me?
I know, man. Piece of shit, eh? This pure shite bag. Like,
get your money there.
I did, mate. I did do that day.
I just never went in and needed to fucking say anything. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
All right, big time. Damn your fucking. Damn your objects here.
Maybe they did phone my dad.
Mate, he didn't even wear a school uniform. Don't listen to this cunt.
I didn't think they maybe phoned my dad and he didn't give a fuck either. Like, I don't know where he is.
They never phoned me. They never phoned me, mate. Because I'm your fucking daddy.
Aye. I was just saying there, I wish John Rambo was my real dad.
Oh, John.
Why?
Why? No, he seems an alright guy. Probably be an alright old man.
You wouldn't have seen him. He's like a standard dad in America. You don't see them.
I feel John Rambo's got a bit of autism about him.
How? Because he's had a stroke.
Sometimes when he's just staring into space. No, I know he's got a bit of, what would you call that? Fucking
like Islam Makachev.
War flashbacks. Just staring like fucking
the 1,000-yard stare.
For getting whipped. Enemy.
How many times have you seen footage with Islam Makachev and he's actually just stood there with his mouth open like that?
Aye, that's. He's got the orc, Lord of the Rings orc stare.
Sean Clancy.
He's got
No, actually, better hope Sean Clancy doesn't hear that. He's coming for you.
Fucking try to do me the day. It's cool. Right.
He's going to try and do you anyway, so he may as well
I know. I got a fucking a heat button in the eye last night. Just in a scramble. No, for him, somebody else. But I was just like, oh, please don't be fucking cut.
What about the footage of the Patreon of your 2 matches? That was quite cool. Like the actual footage of like the walkouts and the wee bits before it.
It was funny.
And the match itself was actually alright, man. I enjoyed watching it again. It was good actual footage of the view they had.
It was a good laugh. It's funny how.
What about, I mean, Ross, I never even picked up on this. Walking out to fucking Post Malone to come and fight me.
Aye, had to do it.
That's what you've already told us, but that's what you fuck your, that's the songs you fuck your wife to. And you decide to pick that to walk out and grapple with me.
I had to get in the zone for hudding you down and shagging you. That was my plan.
I'm going to shag your ass.
That was funny, man.
And I won't be gentle. I'm a rough lover.
That was funny.
You're a rough lover, Chris?
Aye. Why?
like that.
Have you ever heard the Stevie Layden has a good one. He's like, hey, you want to play mummies and daddies? And then it's like, who do you want to be? And he's like, I'll be daddy. And he's like, right, suit mummy's dick.
Oh, fucking hell. That's awful.
You want to play mummies and daddies?
But
my mate used to say, do you want to get my Wendy's? You go to the Wendy and I'll hang out here or some shit like that.
See when you used to go in the football bus, that used to be the best part ever, man. It was like, one of the ones of my favourite was you want to go half hours in a lane. Want to go half hours in a lane?
Fucking degenerates.
The bus part was brilliant.
One of the things I wrote on the chat today was can you remember your first ever like CD or single that you bought? Because when I grew up, you had like Woolworths. Remember that, Paul?
Mm. Aye.
And they used to sell singles for like $2.99, but you would have like a B-side or another song for the album on it. Remember that? You could buy a single.
Yep. Aye.
So mine was Wheatus. I don't know if you can remember.
Teenage Dirtbag.
Aye, mine was Wheatus, mate. Aye. And it was like $2.99.
Mine was I'm a wee bit older, so mine was Chumba Wamba Tub Thumping.
Ah, yeah.
And it was only $1.99. And I remember I get that, and my sister got I Am a Barbie Girl. They were the two songs roughly out at the same time, and I used to be like, got all this cool as fuck, like proper football casual. He takes the whiskey drink, he takes the lager drink. It was really
It's a good song.
like, I walked out to the song. I walked out to the song when we done that thing with the comedian. Remember the comedian was? Remember we did like the on stage performance.
Aye,
that was a song I picked to walk out to. Chumba, Wamba, Tub Thumping. What did you get, Ross?
I can't remember my first single, but I can remember my first album. It was Straight Outta Compton. That was the first album I bought.
What, NWA?
NWA, aye. It would have been, I don't know about the first single, but it was definitely Straight Outta Compton. It was the first album I bought. So I was mad into that, shooting people and that.
See, my second single was that I bought for a bud that I was seeing at the time, and it was a Kylie Minogue one.
Yeah.
Can't get you in my head.
Was I Should Be So Lucky?
Can't get you in my head. It was an R&B single.
Oh, you charmer.
I know, man. That's fucking howling, man. But aye.
Romantic, mate.
Aye. So I used to always buy like the CDs though. I had hundreds of CDs, but I think I'm just collecting shit like that. But back in the day, like I had all the albums and all the singles. Even though I bought the album, I would buy the single as well. Mm-hmm. Like maybe a rap, like Eminem album, I would buy the singles as well. Had cassettes and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And you had to rewind the cassettes. Remember having to rewind shit?
Aye. Well, you flipped them. You went A side, B side, and you would listen to the B side, and that would rewind it. A guy I used to pals with, his brother used to have a really good CD collection. And it was in one of these like standing CD racks.
Oh fuck! I mind him, aye.
Right, and it was his pride and joy, and you would never ever touch it. But the two of them used to fight because they were so close in age. They would they would batter each other, and then the dad would ultimately win. So there was this day, right? The two of them would be battering. My mate had started greeting like proper, so he runs up the stairs and rumps the boot into the CD collection, boots the fucking CDs all over the place. The big brother comes belting up the stairs and fucking sets about him in this wee tiny room. The two of them are absolutely wailing into each other. Then the dad comes running up the stairs and the dad's got a list. And the dad's, I'll fucking get your cunt down, you wee bastard. So then the three of them are all in this room, all fucking boxes, like, I'm fucking better than you, wee dick. Funny thing ever, man, just these CDs just getting...
You don't think there was nothing ever more awkwarder when, like, awkwarder, I don't know if that's a word, but...
It's now.
If you were in somebody else's house as a young person and they would start fighting or, like, really getting in it and you're just sitting there, like, should I go in there or whatever?
Or they've got a fucking mental mum.
Do you never used to tag in?
The most like,
I used to love tagging in.
Posty fucking on, like, right, I'll just go.
I can remember fighting with my wee brother.
I used to love fighting the brothers. I used to love getting a tour in about the big brothers. Yeah.
Well, your battles?
Double team them. We'd batter one big brother. I had a big brother as well. We'd fucking try and gang up and beat him.
I was fighting with my wee brother once over football stickers in the, like, Scottish Premiership album. My dad just fucking lost the plot and ripped it up in front of us. The whole fucking album, like, just tore it to bits. I was like, that's fucking it. And then he must have felt bad because he gave me 20 quid to go up to the shop and buy all new stuff and that.
Did I ever tell you about the time I chopped my finger off, Paul? Tip of my finger? with this. So you see that? I've chopped the tip of that finger off here. Mm-hmm. Just in there. So when I was a wee guy, I shared a room with my brother, who is a massive weed head, like a stoner, right?
Like Paul.
But I had these like tray under the bed and all that. Don't get me wrong, my mum and dad used to smoke as well, but my brother, I shared a room with, so he was rolling joints, had a tray and all that. So he was at work, he used to work all day, so I had a big bit of hash basically, right? So I've got an actual meat cleaver. See, like fucking Bill the Butcher type thing, right? So being a wee guy, obviously, you're supposed to heat the hash up if you're going to cut it, for those who don't know.
This is back when everyone smoked the soap
This was when it was a big fucking 9-bar thing. So I've just done that. I held this bit of hash with a machete and just tried to chop it, man. Boom, chopped the tip of my finger off, right? So at the start it's just like, oh you fucker. Then the full tray is just filled with blood, man. I'm like, oh no. So I'm a wee guy at this point, remember, I'm only like fucking 12 or something. So I'm like, I ran into my mom and I thought, I've cut myself, mum. It's like, right, so she took me into the bathroom, ran it under the fucking the tap, and like, you can see a wee bit of bone in it. She's like, oh, for fuck's sake, you've really done it. What have you done? I was like, I was just touching one of Stephen's swords. I said, right. She's like, that bastard, wait till I get him, right, wait till he's in. He comes in for work at 5 o'clock or whatever. My mum fucking frog marches him into the room. Yeah, but like slapping him. Yeah, bastard, like Christopher's went and cut his finger off because he's touching your fucking worms. He's like, why didn't he fucking tell me to touch him? Blah, blah, blah. It all comes down. He goes in to like roll a joint. Here he goes in to roll a joint, opens it in up. He's like, my bit of my fingers there. And he's went right in. He's like, he went right in. He's like, he was in there snapping my fucking hash. That's how he's got his finger off. He fucking grassed
what age have you been?
So I was 12 or so, 11 or 12 one. So then when I was getting when I got lifted like years down the line, I couldn't get my fingerprint stick with this finger. They're like, it's no hanging as I have no tip of my finger. So the post gonna get an index in my left. I was like, I chopped it off with a meat cleaver. They'll just look at you like, alright.
Were you gonna have a smoke, like? Was that your plan?
I was taking it with my mates, so I was like, I've got a bit of hash. I think it was hard and all, know what I mean? But good times, man. I don't know, we were just talking about siblings fighting each other there. So I got it tight for that.
My brother obviously was working, and I used to sneak into his room and swipe his trainers. So he had like nice trainers, and I'd put them on, so he'd go to work in the morning, and I would like jump into his room, fuck them into my bag, walk off, and then switch my trainers for his trainers. So I had nice fresh fucking trainers up to school. Like, he probably didn't know this. Like, trainers were all fucked because I was wearing them.
You look like Spider-Man when he gets venom.
I very much like
to the street.
So I was like, and then I remember there was one time he had like this trophy sitting on his windowsill, and it used to have like change, and I used to go in and help myself to it, like just treat myself. Treat yourself. So there was a £20 in it one day. So I took the full £20, took myself a wee joint to Glasgow, me and Gary Thompson right in there. And then he was like, he was looking for that £20, and he was like, you stole my money? And I was like, I've no stole your money. And he's like, sorry, it's supposed to my mom. I was like, you fucking probably spent it in booze, you fucking idiot. I got away with it, swiping $20 off from back in the day, man. Right. I'm super proud of that. I don't know.
Aye. He's going to hit you up for it.
No, he's not getting the £20 back.
I'm on it back.
Like, you get £20. Aye, so I used to offer him a big broth.
What type of trainers were you fucking grafting with?
He used to have these Cortex.
Aye,
he used to have a pair of white Cortex with a big fucking red and white tick.
The Forrest Gumps. The Forrest Gumps.
Aye.
Aye, that's the man's one.
And I used to, like, I never had them. But I remember he had bought them, and I thought they're fucking brilliant. So as soon as like he used to leave for school, and I used to do the same with his jackets in the winter. So he'd have like a nice jacket in the winter. I'd tucked it right in my bag, pull it out, right up to school, like ready to rock and roll. And then I would have to get it back into the room, and back into his cupboard before he was back in the house. But see, the issue was when he used to wear his trainers. You used to go and play football, didn't you?
Aye.
They weren't my trainers.
Oh, that's getting scuffed.
I had to be careful with these fucking things, man. Aye. So I scuffed them, and then the same again. He'd be like, "You've been wearing my trainers?" Like, no. And he's like, "They're all scuffed. I only got them like last week, and I've only worn them once." So it was good having a big brother because he could steal all his kit.
I was the big brother. I had a wee brother. So, nah, just kicked fuck at him. Bullied him severely.
Aye. Well, that was my brother used to do that to me. He used to kick my peas, and that was part of payment. He would kick my peas, I'd take the beating, and I would wear his clothes and put him on. I need to be a Calvin boxers, Barry, you fucking dancer.
My old man used to say,
aftershave as well.
The aftershave was a biggie, wasn't it?
My fucking dad stole my after. I let my dad in my car, and the cunt stole aftershave out of it. And I was like, "You fucking stole my aftershave?" Nah, never. I went to his house. It was there in his fucking chest of drawers. So that's mine. But my wee brother.
Did you take it?
Aye, I took it back. My wee brother. My dad just used to say, "You can't hit him in the face or the balls." So that was it. Just constant fucking deed legs, deed arms, everything. Just had him down and fucking smash his body. Fuck. I feel terrible now because it was really bad. Like, but big brother things.
No, it made him who he was. But I used to, honestly, it was good having a big brother.
He lives miles away and like doesn't he speak to any cunt because his fucking traumatic childhood.
Fuck's sake.
I feel a wee bit bad. But what's your plans tonight?
You probably should feel bad the fact you've made him a fucking recluse.
Okay. What's your plans?
So are we going to do tonight? Well, it's currently fucking 12 o'clock at night, mate.
Aye. So when's that ever stopped you?
I need to go to sleep. I know, but so I need to go to sleep. So I'll get a few hours. I'll get up in the morning. Universal Studios is here.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It's quite new.
I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to jump there and do that. It's only like 100 fucking whatever we use here to get in. So I'm going to jump in there, do a wee bit of that, just myself, and then catch up with Big Gaubo and the boys, and we'll do some jiu-jitsu.
Aye, quality.
And then that's pretty much going to be me till the fights. Like I'm pretty busy until I've only got tomorrow morning to do anything. Mm-hmm. But talking about the fights, who are you going to pick? Is there a fight you're looking forward to?
Max.
Aye.
Max.
I don't.
Zombie.
I'm not the biggest fan of Korean Zombie. I think he's very overrated. But he took a lot of time out, didn't he? Because he had to not have to do like the Chinese military and stuff or something.
South Korean.
South Korean.
South Korean.
But I just feel every fight he's in, he loses. So it's just like
it did affect him bad though. The 2 years out. When he came back, he was definitely.
And Max is no the right guy to go in with if you're looking to get a win.
If you want to get punched 600 times over the 5 rounds,
the volume's got to be ridiculous.
then definitely fight Max. It's
I've seen the UFC have been.
Who else is on the card, Paul? I'm not really clued up.
The only other fight who's a doozer is going to be Smith versus Span, but that's the second time they've fought.
Smith and Span are there. Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Anthony Smith's already beat him. So Anthony Smith has already beat him. Anthony Smith's not beat MD for 2001, and it was him he beat.
Why is he fighting him again? Is he trying to get that fucking confidence back or something? Span will beat him, I think.
I have no idea.
I think Span will beat him.
I'd bet on Span.
Span's in a good wee bit of a run. I think when I was looking at the cards there before, so Span's been beat off Krylov his last fight, but he beat off Johnny Walker recently as well. But he's beat a few names, like you need to ask him, Jamie. Let me see. I'll be able to fire this up 2 seconds because I've got my phone here.
But like he found God or something, eh? Like he turned to religion, and then since then he's been on a mad run. Honestly, I'm not making that up, mate.
He found God.
That's what he said. He got mad.
So Anthony Smith's not beat MD from him, and that was 2001 when he subbed him. And then Anthony Smith went on and fought Ankalaev, who Ankalaev beat in 2 rounds, and then Anthony Smith then went decision with Johnny Walker. And then the same for Ryan Span. He's been beat off so he's beat Kutibala or Kutilaba, whatever his name is, and then he's beat Dominic Reyes, and then he get beat off Krylov his last fight. So it's like they're fighting. They're not really fighting for anything. It's not as if any of them are fighting to move up the rankings, because both guys will kind of stay where they are because they're not really beating them, are they?
I feel Anthony Smith is he's on his way out, and I think he's looking at more like a desk job, which he's actually not too bad.
He's good, aye.
Which is fair enough, aye. I'm trying to see what
that time he was maybe the fill-in fight in your show in Rio. Paul, he looked like a bag of shit, man. And if you're trying to fill in,
did, mate.
If you're trying to fill in for the main event, it was, wasn't it? It was, the stand-in for the main. And you're still kind of make weight for that, like something so big like that, and you didn't look too good. I'm like, he's not really training like he's wanting to get somewhere now, I feel.
And Rio as well.
But I imagine doing a camp or doing whatever it was he did and having an opportunity to fight for the title and not making weight and getting a payday. Why would you not do that? It's just idiotic.
I would still like to see you. I'd still like to see you piece him up, to be fair, before he retires.
I know. I would love that. I'd love that. But I think, as we were speaking about earlier, I think we need to push for this middleweight. We need to push this. The last push we've got. Let's say 3 fights. 3 fights can put me into the top spot. My next fight's a top 10 opponent. My next fight after that will be a top 5, and then it'll hopefully be like in the contentions of being number 1, in the line for the title or whatever it is. But I genuinely believe that I can be a world champion. I believe that I've got one last push in me. If it doesn't go my way within the next couple of fights, then I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. It needs to be done right now. The time is now.
Yep, that's it.
Who do you like? Who do you like in the top 5s? How do you feel like you match up? Take Adesanya out of the new. How do you feel like you match up with like Robert Whittaker or guys like that?
See, I've always thought Robert Whittaker was the best thing for sliced breed. Like, I like Bobby Knuckles. I like him as a person. I like him as a fighter. I love his style. But he's not the same guy as he once was. And like, I'm not saying that Duplessis isn't a great fighter, but I just didn't expect him to get done the way he got done. So is maybe Bobby Knuckles' time over? For him, I reckon it'd be too big, too long. When it came to the jiu-jitsu, he might have the upper hand in the wrestling ability, but I don't think he's going to be able to beat me in the grappling exchanges. Who else do I like in there? I like Sean Strickland. I think that's a really good fight for me. Like, I've said it to you before. The way he stands, the way he moves forward, he's there to be hit. I know he's tough. I know he's like, I like him as a character as well. So I don't think there's anybody who I'm shit scared of this person in the top 10. And the worst, I think the hardest guy, the hardest guy to beat is Adesanya, because his skill set's so high at striking. So to get into him, it's going to be tough, and it's probably going to look like the last thing you want it to look like, is the way it was at the weekend with Aljamain Sterling. And because he was reaching to try and grab a hold of Sugar Sean, and I think that's where Adesanya would absolutely piece you up. If you're trying to overreach him, just pump, because his footwork's good, his kicks are good. He's an amazing practitioner, but as soon as I got him to the mat, the game over for him.
There definitely some interesting matchups. You've beat people that are in the pound for pound list, not me. So it's like, I feel like you've got the skills to beat anybody anyway. So I
think the same with that DDP. I think he's just like a fucking rough customer, Like, he turns fights into brawls. He's just a tough guy. Which of course everybody's tough, but I felt the fight with Whittaker, like, he did just kind of fucking bully him a bit. And got the finish.
He moved him, didn't he?
Aye. At the end of the first round, you could see, like, even in Whittaker's face, when he stood up, he kind of hands on the hips and a big, like...
I think when stuff isn't going your way and you're taking shots, it's like somebody zaps you with a small gloves on, your nose is felt, your eyes are watering, your nose is maybe bursting, then you can't get him down, he's up, and you're just like, oh fuck, this could be a rough night.
It's disheartening.
All these things happening in an actual fight when you're in the fire, and I think he just overwhelmed Bobby Knuckles with just his pressure.
That's exactly what he did.
He did the same to Till, remember when DDP fought Till? He just overwhelmed him, just laid after him and just picked him both. I think he's probably the best shot in the next couple of fights to beat Adesanya, just with his skill set being wild, throwing, because he doesn't throw conventional shots, and I think that's the way you're going to have to beat somebody like Adesanya. I think he has to be out with the normality.
If you stand in front of Adesanya and you're trying to score with kickboxing, like that guy's done that his full life in over 2 different sports. That's how when Pereira was kind of similar, he was just hit a bit harder, and then obviously he got that one back. So if you've got to play that type of game, because Hingway tried it as well, Vittori tried it, and it was just, he tried it for 10 rounds, and that's not the way to beat Adesanya. You need to try and drag him to the mat, you need to try and be wild, Like, he doesn't know what's coming.
Unconventional.
He doesn't know what's coming. Like, just put him off his stride, kind of, and that's...
Because once he gets...
Easier said than done, obviously, but that's probably the route to go.
If Adesanya gets a read on you, that's once he starts to put people away.
Yeah.
Like, it's how he put away Costa. It's how he put away Whittaker the second time. He just went, sorry, was it the first or second time he knocked Whittaker out? It's fought him twice. It was the first. It was like, I know what you're doing here. Boom. And he gets them out of there.
Yeah.
You know, like Sean O'Malley as well. Just a step to the right and a fucking long shot, right on the button, bang, wins the fight. So, aye. Vittoria, I think, would be quite a good one for you.
He's not massively tall, but he is quite thick.
Also tough.
He's not tall, so you'd be able to use that range, be able to use the kicks and keep him at distance that way. But the fight we've got next is a good one. I think it's a very good top 10 opponent. Little pushes into the.
Oh, he's extremely good.
Pushes into the mix.
Whoever he is.
Aye, pushes into the mix. But that's the thing. Like, I don't think like the way I'm sitting in the light heavyweight and the middleweight, I don't think you get an easy fight. I think they're all tough.
Not a chance.
I think they're all
not a fucking chance.
like you're in the top 10. But like Chris, see when we first started MMA and we were starting our pro careers and we were training like every single day. Did you ever expect us to be on these journeys, fighting for titles, fighting like headlining shows, all this kind of stuff? Like as we spoke about the last time, your man premise is obviously fighting for the title. You nearly put him away. Like
no. He'd already won it. When I fought him, he was ranked number 1 at Bellator when I did actually fight, because he just lost the belt to Chandler. He'd already beat Chandler, so this is madness because like
crazy to think.
Think about it. The first time we walked into like the Coat Bridge, like just to do a bit of jiu-jitsu, you're just like, no, you're like top 10 in 2 different divisions. It's insane, man.
Do you want me
Credit to yourself, bro.
Do you want me to tell you exactly what my goals were when I started MMA? I wanted to fight on Cage Warriors and maybe go a trip to America and do some training.
There you go, bro.
That was genuinely all it was, because I didn't know.
You've done that. You've done both.
I know. And it's but
you get to be pals with me and all, man. So you're winning, man.
But at the time,
did you ever set any goals to fuck me up?
You ever had your dick sucked from behind?
That's on the.
You ever had the rusty trombone?
I've not, sadly. If there's
the rusty trombones are like, so that's when you.
That's when you.
So lips to the asshole and then it's a hand job.
An expert in the trombone. If there's any watchers in the gay community and you could maybe give more of a breakdown, I appreciate
No,
that.
you don't have 1 minute. You don't have to be gay. You get it from the females. You don't have to be gay to get the rusty trombone.
I would say gay guys are
You ever had
experienced
your
that
asshole
type
licked?
of thing. No,
Never?
No, mate, it's like a fucking rug. Man, it's like a rug.
Come on, man.
I'm one hairy ass
Man.
I'm a
Coops, do you enjoy eating ass?
of course. Oh, aye.
Right. So what?
now-
Why does you not have your own asshole?
So hang on.
That wee chocolate Wheato.
I'm now not
What-
gay
what
because
about
I
you
do
stinky
lick
pinky?
ass. No, absolutely not. No.
You don't take a pinky in the ass?
No, do you?
Come on, man. Aye, fucking right, I do.
It's weird.
Every single digit up to the first crease.
It's weird how I'm the gay one for not being into that.
Aye, but it's
Well, you're
long as
obviously
it's not
finding
a guy,
homosexual
There's not a
urges.
but.
as long as it's not a guy doing it.
So, right. So it's only gay. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Jamie, don't
No,
let them do
you're
this.
clearly no interested in doing it because you're scared in case it unlocks something inside you.
Possible.
Unlocks that homosexual urge.
Could be. I'm
Just
just,
see when you
a wee
get
digit up the arse and it's
just
gay.
hold your coin you got for Harry Potter, but all the rings.
time's running out there,
Because
Jimmy.
that won't make it gay if you're holding your coin.
I had to get after my stomach surgery, right? I had to get examined by the doctor, and I'm no kidding you, it's the most fucking painful thing I've ever had in my life. I actually said to the
What, a
doctor,
digit in the arse? Come on, mate.
I actually said to the doctor, I will never again try and shag my missus in the arse. It was so painful, eh? It was horrific.
Wait till I tell you. So I was speaking to this is one of the best lines. This is one of the best things ever. So my partner's like, the daughter started a new school, so she's filming in about a new teacher. So there's a meet and greet for the teacher.
Yes.
the teacher turns out to be an ex-Miss World. And she's like, I think you might be away. And I said,
No,
I'll be there. Don't you worry. I'll
Swim
be
him.
back to meet
Swim
the teacher.
I'll swim.
I'll be there.
Did she
With a
actually
wee
tell
apple.
you she was a Miss
Shake the
World
apple.
though? That's the worst thing to fucking tell
Aye.
you. Tell you especially like, she's a Miss World.
How should go for that to teaching?
Yeah, I'm expecting big things now, mate. So if you can try and sneak a wee photo or something like, teaching.
Like a wee,
The
I've got
flash is
a
on.
desk picture. I mean, seeing I got to meet her, I'll have a fucking big red shiny apple showing up in my shirt. I got you an apple, miss.
So the kids love the new
So
school.
as I said, I'll be back because I need to go and meet the teacher. I'm not missing this opportunity, boys. I'm
Not a day
paying
with
one
the
for the team,
podcast.
so I will be back.
It's like Miss World.
So I will be back, and then I'll head back out, and then I'll be back because I'm not out. I'm only out for a couple of days in America the next time, and then I'll be back, and then you're away, aren't you, Chris?
Aye. The joys, mate. The joys.
I know. G4 claims.
100% of your claims. G4 claims.
Have you been involved in an accident? It's not your fault. Do you want to receive 100% of all your compensation? Well, why not get in touch with G4 Claims? Ross, hit me up with that number.
The number is 01698 767 172.
G4 Claims.
And the website is notatfaultclaim.com. Link in the bio.
G4
description.
Claims.
G4 Claims.
Yeah.
Brilliant, guys.
We're getting better at this place.
Well,
What does it say? Claims made easy? Claims made easy.
It ain't easy being breezy. So, guys, the Patreon is live. The Discord is live. We have got some new videos for this month's Patreon. It consists of myself and Ross having our grappling match at Hollytown Havoc.
We
We also have the
won't
breakdown
spoil
of-
the ending though, who won, so you need to...
was me.
Don't go into apology.
We also have the Patreon exclusive of my breakdown for the Pedro Munoz fight, which we just come back from. So that's it's quite a cool wee setup.
With the weight
you also
cut.
get to learn how I do the roll. You also get to learn how I do the actual daffs as well. And as well as the weight cut, that's like that. There's going to be people who are just going to come for that video alone. It's a 40-minute documentary of my whole weight cut.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super proud of that. I'm super proud of what the guys have done. And as I said every single time with this, the Patreon stuff that we put out we are proud of it, and it's only going to get better. So thanks for the support. And somebody's birthday, your partner's birthday, why not drop in there and pick them up a Captain Stabbing t-shirt, show them that you love them.
So also come and join, get in the Discord. I know some people have signed up to the Patreon who aren't making use of the Discord. Just download the app, get signed in, chat away. We're on it. We'll talk to you. You can ask us questions direct.
We send scuddies, everything, like butthole pictures, like fucking...
Stretched open anus.
Also, the Patreon for Kayla. She asked us to do a shout out for her daughter. They're big fans of the show, like
Big supporters of the podcast.
part of the Patreon as well. So
her daughter's 12th birthday today.
is it today?
today.
So happy birthday, and thanks for watching the show and
And
supporting
all
the
the
guys.
support. So
Thank you so much for the support, and hope you have a lovely 12th birthday and stay out of trouble.
Aye, and kind of don't watch us.
don't grow up to be like us.
Don't want you grow up to be just like me. Right, Paul. Get some sleep, and we'll speak to you tomorrow, son.
I'll probably be back in for an actual in-person podcast, and probably Wednesday if possible.
Perfect.
Right, boys, love yous.
Right.
All right.
Keep it high.
Tell Gilbert I'm asking for him.
Survive.
Tell Big Gowbo.
All right. See you soon.
See you later, boys.
Ciao.